Javette? Reverend Holland Thompson, University Chaplain. Mr. Barry Thomas, Deputy Registrar. Dr. Paul Ivy, Associate Vice President, Graduate Studies Research and Entrepreneurship. Other distinguished colleagues or prospective graduate students, good evening, and welcome to the pre-registration forum for graduate students. My name is Dr. Lisa Bromfield. I am the current program director for the Doctor of Pharmacy program, and I will be your moderator for this evening. The mission of the University of Technology states to positively impact Jamaica, the wider Caribbean, and elsewhere through high-quality learning opportunities, research, and value-added solutions to government, industry, and communities. And so we are glad that you have chosen to advance your studies with us and to share in our mission. At this time, we invite Reverend Holland Thompson to open in prayer.
Well, good evening, everyone. Shall we bow our heads for prayer? Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for having brought us together. Thank you for the privilege that we can share in this fashion. We recognize your awesome presence, for without you, we can do nothing. Without you, we are like a ship without a sail. So invite you in this forum to guide, to guard, and to direct, as you direct and fill young minds with education. As they advance in the field and various disciplines, we pray in a very special way for the infilling of your Holy Spirit, that UTech may grow from strength to strength, thus spreading her wings to provide for the young people quality education here in Jamaica, the Caribbean, and across the world. So as we invite your presence in this forum, we know that you will equip us with the necessary tools so that this forum will be a successful one. Be with the administrators, be with everyone who will take part in this forum. May your Holy Spirit condescend, move through, and give us the guidance that we need so that this university will continue going from strength to strength to accomplish its mission across the length and breadth of this country and the world. We ask you now, dear Father, that the words of our mouth and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight, our Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen and amen. The Lord bless you, the Lord keep you, the Lord make his face to shine upon you and give you peace now and forevermore. Amen and amen. God bless you all as you participate in this meaningful forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Thompson. Before we move into our agenda, we have a few presenters lined up for you. At this time, Dr. Paul Ivy, Associate Professor will bring the opening remarks. But just before he does, I would like to ask our audience to note a few things. Question and answers will be done at the end of the presentations. And secondly, there will be a feedback or questionnaire link that will be placed in the description box, and we encourage you to complete same. Prospective students are asked, please, to submit the questions at the end of all the presentations via the chat, and then we will take them from there and we will ask the respective persons to address your questions. So at this time, I'll hand over to Dr. Paul Ivy for his opening remarks. Dr.
Thank
Ivy.
you, Dr. Brumfield. Good afternoon, everyone. It's actually evening since we're at 6 o'clock. Good evening. Chaplain Reverend Alan Thompson, Mr. Clayton Moore, our Assistant Registrar for Admissions, Ms. Gavette Francis, Postgraduate Assistant, Admissions Assistant, Mrs. Charmaine Armstrong from our Finance and Business Services Office, other colleagues, and our new prospective students, welcome. My task this afternoon is to bring opening remarks. I might mention brief opening remarks because I've been afforded a grand total of 5 minutes so to do. Moreover, what you are here for is not really speech making, but to provide you with a particular set of information for you to use. As is indicated here, the purpose of this event, as indicated by its title, the Pre-Registration Forum. It is meant to provide you with information to ensure that you start right so that you will be able to end great. But before I go further, I want to pause to say to you, our new prospective students who are intending to join our university community in the new upcoming 2023-24 academic year. I want to thank you for choosing to further your studies at the University of Technology, Jamaica. You have chosen wisely, because it is the case that for the last 75 years, that is since 1958, this institution and its predecessor institutions have been empowering young Jamaicans to greatness. And so you are joining in that tradition of persons who have gone on before you, who have excelled, and who have been assisted in their empowerment by this institution. So the fact that you have choices, but you have chosen UTech, means that you have chosen wisely, and yours is the opportunity to benefit from the tremendous track record and legacy that our institution has. You are also enrolling at UTech at an exciting time in our history. I just mentioned that we're in our 75th year, but it is also the case that we are anticipating the arrival of a new president of our university in a couple of weeks. As a matter of fact, he's slated to join us the second week of September. Dr. Kevin Brown, our new president. But what is interesting, or also interesting in respect to Dr. Brown, is that he is a UTech graduate, and that's remarkable. And he's currently an aerospace engineer at the prestigious Rolls-Royce company in the UK. And he has taken the decision to give back to his country by agreeing to serve as president of his alma mater, our university. So as I mentioned earlier, and I want to reiterate, this forum is organized specifically for you, our prospective students, to provide you with pertinent information so that you can start right and end great. So this pre-registration forum is about how you get yourself registered and regularized as a bona fide student of our institution when the time comes. Registration is a requirement to be a legitimate student of our university. It is one of the standards of our accreditation body, the University Council of Jamaica, as well as it being a university requirement. Ms. Francis will provide you with pertinent information on the registration and enrollment process. In addition to the registration, fee payment is a component of the registration process. And there are fee payment plans and particular procedures to be followed. And this is where Mrs. Charmaine Armstrong will provide you with pertinent information in that regard. I may seem to be belaboring this particular point, but I have to say that it is critical that you are registered. If you are not registered and pay your fees, you will not be able to access various services that students are entitled to. So for example, getting your identification card, accessing the health center if you need health services, and critically the library, access to the library for library resources, and also the graduate students lounge. But let's talk about the library, for example. You know, it is said that a university is a set of buildings that surround the library. The library is the nerve center. And critical to graduate studies is access to the various databases that are related to your discipline that are housed by our library. So being registered enables you to avail yourselves of these services. If you are not a legitimate student, you are a stranger. And that is not a situation that we would want to have. So you will get information, all the necessary information about these matters in this forum. And that is why it has been specifically planned for you. But you will notice that you will not be getting information about your specific courses in this forum. There's a reason for that. That kind of information will be provided in the orientation sessions that are planned by your respective academic units. In those sessions, based on the courses of study that you are going to be pursuing, so the Faculty of Education and Liberal Studies will have its orientation program for its students, Faculty of Engineering and Computing, and so on, the others, in that manner. So there in these orientation sessions at the academic unit level, the program directors, graduate studies coordinators, and other staff members will tell you of the specific requirements that are to be met for your course of study. You'll be introduced to the staff members, etc. So that's what will happen in those forums. This particular forum here is to give you information for you to be able to get registered and become a legitimate student. Then the rest of the activities and matters will flow thereafter. I want to briefly mention, I've been introduced as the Associate Vice President for Graduate Studies, Research and Entrepreneurship, working out of the School of Graduate Studies, Research and Entrepreneurship. The overall responsibility of the graduate school, as we call it in short, is to set and promulgate standards and the policies governing graduate education at UTech Jamaica. And it is the academic units that deliver these curricula that have been developed to these standards. And the academic units as well the SGSRE ensure that the course goals and graduate attributes are met in relation to the policies and standards. I will segue now to speak to the matter of being a graduate student. Being a graduate student, you are expected to exhibit a high level of maturity, self-directedness, and resourcefulness. I'm trying to say that there will not be any spoon feeding of you as a graduate student. The expectation is that you'll be independent, self-directed, exhibit a high degree of emotional maturity, self-management then. Self-management is a critical aspect of this. And in this regard, just to give you an example of this self-directedness that there's this expectation of, is that I'm indicating to you right now that they are pertinent information for graduate students coming from the SGSRE that's on the SGSRE page of our website, the University of Technology Jamaica website. You go under academics, you scroll down to the School of Graduate Studies, Research and Entrepreneurship, and there you will find pertinent information for you as a graduate student. In particular, I want to highlight the manual for preparing graduate students' final research documents, as well as the student handbook. And I'm singling out the manual for preparing your research documents because you see, the thing is, as an undergraduate person, you took many courses and so on. You're familiar with taking courses, but the critical difference, if you will, beyond the level at which the courses will be pitched, it is also the requirement for you to produce a substantial piece of research work. And so this manual is something that I'm encouraging you to get a copy of. Avail yourselves of it at the very onset. Remember, I said, start right in order to end great. I must also say that what the SGSRE intends to do, and in closing, I'm wrapping up now, that in early September and beyond, just after you have completed the registration exercises and settled down, the SGSRE will be hosting a forum for you, our new graduate students, and it's entitled Thinking Like a Graduate Student. Look out for the notice. And after that, perhaps in early semester 2, we will be hosting another forum, Getting Started with Your Research Projects. So look out for the notices for these forum that the SGSRE has planned for you. And so again, I'm joining with the Office of Admissions and Enrollment Management in welcoming you here this afternoon, and also to the University of Technology Jamaica. And I thank you again for choosing UTech Jamaica, and we are here to serve you. So the information shared this evening is to help you to start right so that you will end great. Welcome and thank you for being here, and I'm inviting you to be very attentive to the information that will now be shared because this forum is designed for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ivy, for your words of wisdom. We will now hand over to Mr. Barry Thomas, who will bring greetings on behalf of the registrar.
Dr. Lisa Bromfield, moderator, Reverend Holland Thompson, our chaplain, Mr. Clayton Moore, assistant registrar, admissions and enrollment, Dr. Paul Ivy, associate vice president, graduate studies, Mrs. Charmaine Armstrong, business and finance department representative, Ms. Gavette Francis, postgraduate admissions assistant, other guests, and most importantly, our graduate students. On behalf of our registrar and management of the University of Technology, Jamaica, I welcome you all to our pre-registration forum. Let me first of all use this opportunity to congratulate you on choosing the University of Technology, Jamaica. And I congratulate you on being accepted into the various programs that the University of Technology has to offer you at the graduate level. I want to thank the Office of Admissions and Enrollment Management for once again staging this pre-registration forum for our graduate students. This forum has become a staple of the Division of Student Services, and we look forward to ensuring that you, our graduate students, benefit from this forum and end up totally equipped to navigate our student services system and have a stress-free enrollment process. Thank you, Mr. Moore, from the Admissions Office for making this forum possible. The forum targets our prospective graduate students who have taken the opportunity to pursue studies at the university. We congratulate you once again on your choice of university. This will ensure that you will have a good experience as you learn what we have to offer. Special greetings to our parents of our graduate students who have taken the time to equip yourselves with the knowledge for the university journey ahead as you achieve higher education at our premier institution. This is evidenced by our mission at the University of Technology, Jamaica, which is to positively impact Jamaica, the wider Caribbean, and elsewhere through high quality learning opportunities for students, research, and value-added solutions to government, industry, and communities. Our team will share with you information on the enrollment processes, including module selection, payment of fees, doing the medical, getting your student IDs, information on our Students Loan Bureau, and other services that you will benefit from as you navigate this forum and as you navigate student life at the university at the graduate level. Your participation in this forum today speaks to your keen interest, eagerness, and commitment to achieve your tertiary education goal. I am sure that by the end of these sessions, you will be knowledgeable on how to study smartly, thus ensuring that you are ready to engage with learning, having met all the administrative requirements to make the learning experience as hassle-free as possible. We are committed to ensure that your graduate student experience will be second to none as we look forward to serving you. Once again, I greet you warmly and I express best wishes to you as you contemplate and start the beginning of your academic journey as graduate students with the University of Technology, Jamaica. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thomas. So now, students, we have 3 presentations lined up for you this evening. But before we move on to our presentations, I would like you to take note of some upcoming events. The registration for new students is on August 14th, 2023, and the orientation sessions that Dr. Ivy spoke to will be held during the week of August 20 to 26th, 2023. At this time, we will now hand over to Ms. Gavette Francis, the postgraduate admissions assistant, who will present to us on understanding the enrollment process. Ms. Francis.
Good evening, everyone. All right, I am trying to share my screen so that you're able to see exactly what is being done or the presentation. Please bear in mind, well, first of all, let me welcome all of our prospective students, those who have been given an unconditional offer, meaning that you have been accepted to pursue a course of study, and also those who have also been given a conditional offer pending supporting documents. And also, it should be noted that we have both local and international prospective students here. All right. So first and foremost, my main objective this evening is to assist you with understanding the registration process. All right. The first thing is just a moment. All right, so the first thing is that understanding your registration process. It involves payment plan selections, it involves tuition payments, and it also involves accepting and confirming your personal details and also the university's regulations. All right, as it relates to selecting your payment plan, what you will do or is expected to do, first and foremost, as Dr. Ivy says, we have to start right. By starting right, we have to select a payment option, and it varies from a plan A, which is a full payment, a plan B, which is a semesterly payment, and a plan C, which is a monthly payment. It should be noted that for various courses, you have various payment options. Some may have a plan A or a plan B, which are a full payment or a semesterly payment. Others may have a plan A, which is a full payment, or a plan C, which is a semesterly payment. Moving forward from your payment option, once that has been selected, and what I will do is to go through how you go about selecting your payment option. This can be done from the university's website at www.utechjamaica.edu.gm. Once you have accessed our website, you will then go to our student tab. Then you will go to the eVision Students Portal. Once you have selected eVision Student Portal, you will then be required to sign in. Signing in means that you will be required to enter your username, which is your ID number. Your ID number is also your applicant's number, which can be found in your decision letter or your acknowledgement letter that we would have sent to you. Once that is completed, you will then be required to select your payment option. Once that is completed, a fee breakdown will be generated. Once your fee breakdown is generated, then you will therefore be required to make payments according to your fee breakdown. Your fee breakdown comprises of your tuition payments and your ancillary fees. Moving on to your fee payment methods. I will not spend much time on this because my colleague from the Department of Student Financing will go through this in detail, but we have various payment methods to assist you with making your payments. Once completed, Once you have selected your payment option, you have made payment according to same, you will then be granted financial clearance by our Department of Student Financing. That message, you will go back to your students portal and access. So remember now, just to recap, you access your students portal via our website at www.utechjamaica.edu.jm. Once completed, you will go on, sign in with your username, being your ID number, or what we also call your applicant number. You also will be given a password. If you're entering your password for the first time, you will enter it in the sequence, day, month, year. Once you have gone through that, you will then be asked to change your password to something of your choice. It should be noted that we also will have students entering our graduate program who were previously in programs offered by UTech. Say, for instance, you would have completed your first degree here at UTech, which is you would not be logging on to a student portal or to the university student portal for the first time. What you will see, you will have options there. Say, for instance, 2 options if you did a first degree and now doing a postgraduate course of study. What you're being asked to do is each time you sign on to your students portal, you click the option. So you will see 2 options, one displaying the previous course of study and another one displaying the current course of study that you will be pursuing. Always select for session. You will see 2 tabs there. You will see select for session or make permanent selection. When you select the select for session tab, it will allow you to go in between both courses. If you make selection, permanent selection, it will lock you into the course that you have selected and you will not be able to access the previous record or so. Not to fear though, if that happens, that is something that we also can fix in the Office of Admissions and Enrollment Management and will gladly assist you with doing so. All right, so once you have selected your payment option, you have made your payment using any of the payment methods that we have offered here at UTech. Our finance department have granted you financial clearance. The next thing for you to do is to go back to the system and complete and accept the university's regulation. That is a message that will be sent to you in your entry that is located into your students portal. And that is basically in a nutshell what your registration process is, the main registration process. But we're not finished as yet. We still have a few little things to just go through. All right, so on the matter of deferral, even though I know that all of you have been making preparations to start school in September or come this August, guess what? Things do happen, and of course, we have things in place to assist you. So we have a deferral. Say, for instance, you will not be able to take up the offer because of some reasons. Possibility exists where you weren't granted your leave from work in order to pursue school full time, or we were seeking assistance financially, but it just won't come through for this academic year. You can always request a deferral. You complete the deferral form. You have a copy of your acceptance letter submitted to the faculty or college that you will be attending or that you're assigned to. Once that is completed, what we will do is it will eliminate you having to reapply to the course of study for the next academic year. So it's basically an automatic process for you. Once your deferral is approved, in order for you to start for the next academic year, then you will just indicate to us your intention of taking up the offer, and we will update the system accordingly so that you're able to complete your registration. We also have a leave of absence. You have up to the first 3 weeks in the semester in order to make that request. You also have a withdrawal with permission. You have up until the last 2 weeks in a semester to make that request as well. We move on to the medical process. Each student is required to complete a medical. Your medical can be done at our medical center where you will make an appointment, see our doctor, and they go through the necessaries in order to have that completed for you. Or you may also complete your medical at your private practitioner. The information is placed on our website outlining how it is that you go through all of what are required for you to complete and how it is that you submit the information to our medical center. Once you have completed your medical process, that will allow you to get your ID card taken. I know that you would have heard Dr. Ivy making mention of the various amenities, the graduate lounge, the computer lab, the library. You will need your identification card in order to access these facilities. And hence it is important for you to complete your registration and complete it in a timely manner. As I said, it's just as simple as, well, for me, I know that you're going to be saying, Miss Francis, you know, because it's you and you do it every day, you're going to say that the steps are easy and simple. But not to worry, if you are having difficulties, you may view information, which is also outlined. This presentation that I've gone through is outlined on our website. You may call us, you may visit us. All right, so I hope that this information, well, is not too much to absorb, but if it is, don't worry about a thing. You can also always reach out to us and also view, as I said, the information on our website. Thank you for having me this evening, and I hope this information was fruitful.
Thank you very much, Ms. Francis. And prospective students, please remember to place your questions in the chat. And at the end of the 3 presentations, we'll go into our Q&A segment. I'll now hand over to Mrs. Charmaine Armstrong, the Postgraduate Financial Services Officer, who will present to us on Department of Students Financing.
Good afternoon, our postgraduate students. Give me a few minutes. Good afternoon, postgraduate students. I'm here to speak with you about your financial services guidelines. I am your presenter, Charmaine Armstrong. But first, I would like to welcome you, our postgraduate students, to the 2023-24 academic year. Congratulations on successfully completing your undergrad studies and making the wise choice to pursue postgraduate studies. We want you to invest in yourself. Our financial advisor, Mr. Warren Buffett, states that the best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you will earn. We want you to invest in yourself because it pays the best interest. Life is dynamic, industries are changing, and careers are evolving. One sure way to keep pace with the changes that are going on around you and stay relevant is with a postgraduate degree that allows you to expand your knowledge, upskill and build expertise, and set yourself apart in the competitive job market. But just in case I did not clearly mention, and you're wondering who we are. We are the Department of Student Financing from the Finance and Business Services Division. Our mission is to positively impact the lives of students through the provision of efficient, responsive administrative and financial support services. We believe you will achieve, we will assist. And this is how we support your academic pursuits. You may wonder what our services are. We support the graduate program coordinators with periodic reports on the financial status of students. We generate fee payment communique regarding standard fee payment plan guidelines and requirements. And we provide students with account balance statements and estimates. And we respond to students' financial queries on a daily basis. Now let's discuss some approved payment gateways. But before we do so, we want you to know, well, I want to ask a question. Did you know that if you pay your fees using the wrong method, your account will not be updated? The University of Technology approved payment gateways, both over the counter and online are NCB, Paymaster, JN, Bill Express, and the University of Technology. When you're paying over the counter at NCB, we want you to take your manager's check there only. When it comes to paying online at NCB, we want you to use the bill payment option only. Do not use the transfer of fund method. It is not allowed. Just add UTech as a payee. You can also do so for the JN Bank. Ensure you're using the bill payment option. When it comes to Paymaster and Bill Express, you can pay at their outlets island-wide or pay online, just straight account. You can also pay at the University of Technology, but for over-the-counter payment, we only accept over-the-counter payment from international students only that are currently in the island and need a way to pay. But all other students, including these international students, can utilize our UTech online payment gateway. We want to discuss with you now about payments for local students. All payments for postgraduate fees are now, for local postgraduate students, their fees are now in Jamaican dollars. So we want all payments for postgraduate fees to be paid in Jamaican dollars only. Payment in US is not accepted. Ensure that the details printed on the receipts correspond with the information given to the teller. The UTech bank account number is not required when you're paying at these agencies. Please retain all receipts of transactions done with the university and at our external payment agencies for future references. Important information for the teller: student identification number, student name, amount being paid, indicate the payment is being made to UTech. Please also indicate the type of payment being made is tuition. When it comes to payment of fees via wire transfer, we want students to only use this option if they're paying outside of Jamaica. Wire transfers should be sent to the National Commercial Bank, Matilda's Corner, and these are for overseas payments. The UTech account number 371-060-375 should be used only. The SWIFT code seen on my screen or on your screen should be given to the bank. The student name should be correctly spelled. Student identification number should be clearly written. Please indicate the type of payment being made is tuition. Please include the details of the student's name and identification in the wire details. So sometimes some students make payments via wire transfers, or international students may have given their name and ID number, but when the payment comes across, we do not know who the payment belongs to. Important information. The banks facilitating the transfer, which are the intermediary banks, will charge a fee separate from the transfer fee. Bank charges will be deducted from the original amount being sent and the remainder applied to the student account. Receipts. Email bank receipts or confirmation of payment transactions to the Postgraduate Financial Services Unit via the email grad student PIN you're seeing on my screen. Wire transfers can take a minimum of 7 working days, depending on the point of origin of the transfer. Now let's discuss financial clearance and registration. Financial clearance and registration is very important to the university. And we want, by the commencement of classes, graduate students should have selected a payment plan automatically generated, paid tuition fees using one of the following options. Option 1, Plan A, pay 100% of invoice. Option 2, Plan B, pay per semester. Option 3, Plan C, pay monthly. And 3, receive financial clearance to complete their registration based on the payment plan due date. So 3 things we want you to do. We want you to first select a payment plan. We want you to pay your tuition fees using one of the options I've listed prior. And 3, we want you to receive financial clearance so that you can complete your registration based on your selected payment plan due date. Please note, there are no other payment plans outside of the standard plans generated with your program fees outlined above. Are you seeking financial assistance from a sponsor or an institution? If so, we offer tuition estimates to students seeking financing from financial institution or sponsor to cover their tuition fees. Please send us an email to feeestimate@utech.edu.jm. Now let's discuss sponsorship. Sponsorship. Students who receive any form of tuition assistance from a company or institution are considered sponsored students. Sponsorship comes in the form of a letter of undertaking from a sponsor to pay by a stipulated date. Registration will only be achieved if the sponsorship commitments covers the amount required for financial clearance. So for example, if the amount required for financial clearance based on your selected plan, say your plan is a semesterly plan, and the amount required for financial clearance is 500,000. As long as the sponsor commitment covers the 500,000, it is the same or more, you will receive financial clearance. If the amount is less than the amount required for financial clearance, then you will be required to pay the difference. Now, let's talk about the letter of undertaking we discussed earlier, which is called a commitment letter. We will now look at the details that are necessary for the commitment letter. Name of the student being sponsored, ID number of the student, academic year for which the student is being sponsored, amount to be paid for the students in words and figure, and the payment and the date of the payment must not exceed 30 days from the date of the commitment letter. The letter should be submitted to the sponsorship unit. So this sponsorship commitment letter should be addressed to Mrs. Price Thompson and should be presented to her at the Popine campus. Mrs. Price Thompson is located within the department, the receivables department of the Finance and Business Services Division. Although she's at the Popine campus, if you are studying at the Western campus, just reach out to your relevant faculty representative who will forward the letter to the sponsorship unit. Once approved, the sponsorship document will be stamped and signed and the sponsor record created to give the student financial clearance pending full payment by the sponsor. Now let's discuss about what is expected of you once a sponsor commits to pay. Important information to note. Students are expected to pay in full any amount not covered by the sponsor. So it's your duty to reach out to the sponsor and ensure that payment is made within the 30 days that is given to the sponsor, or if the sponsor receives an extension, that they pay within that time. Commitments are valid, as stated before, for 1 month only, unless otherwise approved. If the debt is not honored by the sponsor, the university reserves the right to transfer the debt to the student's account for payment and apply relevant penalties, to include placing a block on the student's account. Navigating the student's portal. So we want to assist you in retrieving your account balance and view transactions that are posted to your account if you're not able to get through to us. So you can do so via the student portal under the student tab. Just go to the area that says available report and click on account balance to run that report. Don't worry if you're not able to access the students tab on the student portal because you have an outstanding balance that is overdue. You will still be able to view your balance and view transactions posted to your account by following the instructions below in red. Please note, it is important that you visit the portal on a regular basis to view your account statement, which highlights your financial obligation to the university. Therefore, we urge you to pay your fees before the due date and ensure that all payments and invoices are accurately applied to your account. Now let's discuss some funding options available to you. The first funding option I'll discuss is the SLB graduate loan. Loan benefit maximum loan amount 1.8 covers tuition only. Anyone ages 18 to 65 years old can apply. Payment conditions. Interest rate is 9.5 on the reducing balance. Payment period is 60 months or 5 years. And repayment is done by salary deduction. Let's discuss scholarships. The first scholarship I will discuss is the Careers Limited. This scholarship is offered biannually, and the next available date would be for the 2024-25 academic year. The value for this scholarship is 1.8 million, and your academic performance should be a minimum of 3.0. The next scholarship is the Educom Cooperative Credit Union, Ezra Lewis Memorial Scholarship. It's available to second-year master's student, any program of study, requirements, academic performance 3.3, and must be a member or child of a member of the credit union. The next scholarship is the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica, Masters in Sustainable Energy. Requirements, first year master's students, academic performance 3.0. Another scholarship available to our postgraduate students are the postgraduate ICT scholarship from the Universal Service Fund. Requirement, academic performance, upper second class degree. Our student union also offers postgraduate students representative scholarships. The requirements are academic performance 3.5. It's available to final year students, any program of study at the master's level. For further details on scholarship, you can visit the scholarship office at Townhouse number 3 across from the Alfred Sangster's Auditorium, or visit UTech's website, click on financial aid, then postgrad. How to contact the postgraduate financial services unit? You can send us your queries or email via the grad student pin at utech.edu.jm email account. Procedures to access our service. Send us a brief email with your name, ID number, and faculty in the subject line. Outline exactly what your queries are, or your query, whether it's a fee payment issue or something else that may be happening that you need some assistance with. Include your contact number or Marcel if possible, so that we can give you a call if needs be. You will receive an automatic response with the relevant form to complete. A representative will follow. You will receive the relevant form to complete from a representative. Just follow the instructions clearly and attach all supporting documents we requested. So if you're having a fee payment issue and say your payment is missing from your account and you're querying whether or not it was updated or why it was not updated, then you can go ahead and send us a copy of the receipt. If the pay we are seeing from our end that we really have not received the payment, then we'll ask you to reach out to your bank. If we're seeing our institution you made payment, if we're seeing that we received the payment, however, the payment is just not updated to your account due to an error, then we will send you the relevant form to complete. Just ensure you follow the instructions given to you and attach the supporting documents we require to to process your request. Thank you for attending our session today. Thank you for listening so keenly. Really appreciate you being here with us today. And I'm available if you have any questions.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Armstrong.
My presentation for today.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Armstrong. And we're going to take the questions through the chat at the end of our third presenter, who comes to us now, Mrs. Nicole Williams, a graduate student ambassador, to share with us her student experience.
Thank you so much. All protocol having already been observed, I would like to say good evening to one and all. Indeed, it is my privilege as well as my profound privilege to say thank you for inviting me to share with the prospective graduate students this afternoon on my experience at the University of Technology, Jamaica. I first of all would like to say that my experience has been an extraordinary one. I believe it has been extraordinary simply because of the many influential persons that I have come in contact with. Certainly, the lecturers that I have been in contact with within the program of studies. I have to say that I am from the Faculty of Education and Liberal Studies, FELS, and the lecturers that I've come in contact with, they are just absolutely extraordinary. They are quite au fait with their contemporary trends and happenings and knowledge within the field of discipline. Also, they are excellent communicators, as well as they are wonderful facilitators in the sense that you don't feel as if you are being spoken to, but they open an avenue and a gateway for knowledge exchange and networking. And so I have to say that being a graduate studies student at the University of Technology has just been superb as it relates to the opportunities that are given to us as students within the disciplines. There are several opportunities given to us to extend ourselves, to find ourselves, to unearth our knowledge and our talents. And I would just like to say to the persons out there, even if you feel that you are in a group where you are being, you are a member of the choir per se, I would say to you, don't only say that you know the songs that are being sung, but listen to them, repurpose the songs, rewrite the melody and the lyrics, as well as be open-minded. It is a wonderful experience. We have within our faculty and several WhatsApp group in which we share knowledge and we share information, and the networking across not only Jamaica but also the Caribbean has been extraordinary. Along with that, we have a graduate students reading group where we read contemporary articles. We read articles aligned with our dissertation and interest, our research interest, and those articles have led to several fruitful discussions where we have had persons from across several disciplines in the field of education and politics in Jamaica coming online to share with us and to open up the discussion on many subjects. We also have our biannual graduate students conference, and that's a conference where you can share your knowledge and your interest in a particular topic and in your discipline. And so there are several opportunities, such as the forums that Professor Ivy spoke about, Think Like a Graduate Student, where you can come and listen as well as be informed about how you can make it through the process. So before I go, I just want to share with you again that indeed I have had a wonderful opportunity to not only serve as an ambassador for graduate students, but also to sit at the feet of many great persons. People think that it's Aristotle and Sophocles, as well as those people alone that are great. But as you assume this journey, I want for you to think about the fact that you are great. You are entering the gateway of greatness. And even if you come in great, I want to say to you, repurpose your greatness and make a stalwart contribution to Jamaica land we love. We understand a lot that people talk about graduate studies and look at the private value of graduate studies. But I want for you to think about what kind of difference you can make to not just only Jamaica as well, but the global community. So as I said before, I have had a wonderful experience. It has opened my eyes to several things, especially as a member of the education fraternity in the field of education, to think differently, to not only see things in black and white, but to also interrogate the gray areas. So I want to encourage you as you come. It's not going to be easy. You will have sleepless nights. You will have endless days. And I tell you, yes, literal sleepless nights. When you watch the sunrise, you will have sleepless nights. You will have endless days. But at the end of it all, you will feel accomplished and self-actualized. So I encourage you, don't stop reading, don't stop writing, take all the opportunities that you can to get your work published, take all the opportunities that you can to conduct research, collect empirical data that will make a change. So thank you so much. And I wish for you an extraordinary opportunity. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Williams. Your passion is contagious, and I'm really glad that you've had such a wonderful experience. We are now at the question and answer segment of our session for this evening. I note that Mr. Moore, our assistant registrar, has been answering some of the questions in the chat. So maybe we could spotlight Miss Francis and Mrs. Armstrong, just to select a few, just in case there may be prospective students who may not have seen the responses in the chats. And let me see if I can pick a few of the critical ones. The first one I think I wanted to ask is, if you are attending online from overseas, will you need a medical? Ms. Francis, can you confirm for us, please?
Okay. As it relates to persons who will be overseas completing the course or a course of study, you do not require to you're not required to complete a medical.
Okay, great. What if those students are coming in at some part of the program for, say, face-to-face portions, like doing their clinicals?
If they are going to be coming in, I know that for certain, the masters in public health nutrition, those students who are overseas do not come in any at all. Those students are not required to complete a medical, but for those who at some point in time will be at Papine in Jamaica, completing various aspects of their course, they should proceed with completing that.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Francis, for that. There are also questions.
Just to add to that, Dr. Brownfield, it's not because they are overseas or an overseas applicant or student why they should not complete, but it has to do with the course of study itself and what it requires of them.
Wonderful. And I think on that note, we've been having some questions regarding the timing for classes, the availability of course structures, etc. And I think our classes face-to-face or virtual. And I suspect that those questions will be answered during the orientation when we have school-specific orientations and you get a chance to meet with your program directors.
Yes.
Am I
yes.
correct, Ms. Francis?
Yes, definitely. That is
Very
the
much so. Very much so.
Okay, great. All right, so I have another question. When will we be able to start selecting our payment plans?
okay. Payment plans, you may begin doing that process come August 14th. Registration begins on August 14th, and you should be able to begin doing that process on that day. Information will be sent to you just in the same medium as how we communicated about the pre-registration forum. You will also be sent communications as it relates to your registration process via email.
Okay, great. And this question is for Mrs. Armstrong. Can you repeat the fees estimate email?
Yes, the fee estimate email address is feestimate@utech.edu.jm.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm trying to sift through to see if there are any more questions.
I'm wondering if it's possible Mrs. Armstrong could type the email in the chat, that email address.
Sure.
Yes, so that, persons could just copy it off.
All right, so we would need to put it in the, Mrs. Armstrong, do you have access to the YouTube chat, which is where the prospective students are?
No, I don't, but I can put it in the chat and
Okay.
have Ms.
So-
Jessica Gordon shared for me.
Okay, wonderful, great. Okay, I think this is an important question as well, Mrs. Armstrong. Do graduate students pay an enrollment commitment fee or deposit?
Currently, no, they don't. Ms. Francis, can you take that question?
Not a problem. Okay, as it is presently, graduate students are not required to pay an ECD. If it happens that you will be required to, you will be notified of those changes or of that change. But presently, no, they are not required to pay an ECD.
Okay. How do you go about using a manager's check that's payable to the university for tuition?
All right. We at the University of Technology only receive checks from companies. So if they receive a manager's check, we are asking that they take it to NCV and use the over-the-counter method to make payment versus dropping it in their box, the process. You want to ensure that the payment goes where it needs to go, which is to their tuition fee. They will tag it and code it in a certain way that the payment gets updated exactly as it should.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mrs. Armstrong. I think that's it. The other questions I'm seeing again are basically course specific. I'm asking regarding the cost of different programs, if it's possible to switch from full-time to part-time. But again, prospective students, we ask you to address these questions when we go into our respective school orientations with the program directors. So I think this brings us to the end of our session for today. And just before we close, just to remind you, registration for new students opens on August 14th. Our orientation is during the week of August 20 to 26th. And there should be a feedback or questionnaire link placed in the description box, and we encourage you to fill it out. Allow me to move the vote of thanks, and just to say on behalf of the University of Technology, thanks to the team that was instrumental in making this evening such a success, and to you, our prospective graduates, for taking the time to join us. I wish for you a restful night, and we look forward to serving you. Take care, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.